Hello, my Caribbean people, and welcome to the We Tap In interview segment. My name is Nadia Brancker, and guess who we have in studio today? Let me just tell you something. They stay to you. In studio, we have an actor, a comedian, an influencer, an entrepreneur, and we know the next Tyler Perry actor. In studio, let's welcome Akhnaten Burrowes. Hi, how are you?
You girl, it's such an honor to be here. Hi, Nadia.
It's so great to have you. And wait, how did I forget? Better known as Bev. Now, most in Barbados know who Bev is, but for those in the Caribbean who don't know you as yet, tell us a bit about your story and how you got into comedy.
Well, my love for comedy and acting would have grown from my childhood, being around my grandparents, and the love for Bajan folklore and the love for Bajan culture. And I remember as a child watching things like Bajan Bus Stop and all those type of things. And I've always loved the older generation, the knowledge, the things that you learn from them. All just in a nutshell, Bajan, anything Bajan I loved, and that grew from. All that stemmed from there. I spent a lot of time watching things like Tyler Perry from a child coming up, and I truly enjoyed his creativeness, the way how he switched thing from being Medea and then going back into Tyler Perry. He is definitely one of the people who was one of the driving forces. I would have even I remember doing a class with Rahmat through the ministry. We've done a bit of filming and stuff like that, and that helped shape and develop the love for the art as well too for me. So yeah.
So how was Bev created? Because I think we all in Barbados know Bev. And in the Caribbean, you know Bev as well. It's that woman who know everything. You're malicious, but you're not malicious. It's your auntie, your grandmother. Tell me, how was Bev created?
Well, we all have a Bev in our neighborhood, whether it's your mother, whether it's your grandmother, whether it's your neighbor, whether it's your auntie, whatever the case may be, we all have a Bev. And Bev was created simply again from the love of older people. I remember having a neighbor in front of me, and she would come at the window and sit down with her enamel cup looking outside, and I mind my business. So, and all these things, and that is where the love stemmed from. But I started doing Bev from way back in 2015. And my late aunt, who would have passed, she was one of the driving forces behind me doing Bev. And I remember just before she passed last year, she said to me, you should really bring back Bev. And I said, man. And I remember sitting on my bedstead just after she would have passed. I heard this voice saying, do it now. And I started in November, so when I did my first video, blinds, curtains, table runners. And that video would have went viral. And I was like, oh dear, this opened a can of worms. I can't stop now. And everybody wanted more Bev, and the rest has been and mind-blowing for me.
Yeah, because I love Bev, There are the little things that you do, like the picking the rice. I could see my grandmother doing that, Or, the going through the old bits and saying, wait, why thing dead? But she was a real nice woman, all those little nuances that you're able to capture. I knew you were a grandmother's child.
That is indeed a fact. I always come see my grandmother on Saturdays picking the rice, and she humming, or she watching the news, or the numbers coming up, and she picking the rice cards. Or people, you don't give them the rice just trying to pot. You got to pick your rice. So that rice has to be picked and washed. So yeah, that all of these little things and the numbers, the whole bits. My grandmother, both of them, Mildred Gibson and Patricia John, they were big influences on how Bev would have been created as well. My grandmother loved the lottery, and they also loved picking rice, and they loved going through the old bits.
Yeah.
As son, you don't read the lot horns, or you're looking through the old bits. Hey, you want to share years? I know she passed.
Exactly, yeah.
Those elements came a lot from me being around my grandparents for sure.
Yeah, I really feel that in your comedy. Now, you came up with some slogans that have stuck. They stay to you and good body. How did those come about? Or you just happened to say them and it just hit?
The stay to you came around from Shakira Burnett. I remember we were on the phone, and she was the stay to you girl. And then I just started to be like, and it then developed into something that Bev enjoyed seeing. So I must give kudos to Shakira for that for sure. And good body just...
Shakira, we love it. They stay to you, girl. Everybody says it.
So I thank she for developing that for Bev, and I truly appreciate her for that. And when it comes to good body, I just think Bev look in the mirror one day, Bev, so Bev, love you got a good body, girl.
Good body.
And that, you know.
Yeah, we have definitely seen a boom in Instagram comedians. We've seen, even before the pandemic, we've seen Major Hype and Quite Perry, and of course now Bev, and we see Jen as well in Barbados. Why do you think that this type of comedy has become so popular?
To say it, for after all that we've been through in the last 2 years, going into 2 years with the pandemic and with the layoffs and the struggles that people would have faced through illness, whether it may be illness or being unemployed, I think that bit of lightness and laughter brought a lot of joy to households, especially to people who were going through depression, people who would have been on their deathbed, people who would have been sick. You know, I think that I am happy for people like us creatives that could make somebody's life a little easier just by a laugh. And I think that developed over the last 2 years a lot more because of what we have been through, and people are happy just to, you know, something can bring them a little laughter, make them feel good, inspire them a bit. And through my comedy, through my acting, and I always want to share two things. I want to make you laugh and I want to inspire you. That's something that Bev stands by. Yeah,
and Bev does a good job. You make us laugh and you inspire us. Because I think even women have this confidence too, you know. The state of you gal and good body, it does something. It's a drive. I love it, you know. So you are definitely making us laugh and inspiring us. Now, Bev is going to be a sitcom. Now you're teamed up with Board House Productions. How did this come about? Because normally translating that type of comedy into a sitcom tends to be a bit challenging.
It is. But my first love has always been TV and acting. So the comedic part comes hand in hand with that. But my passion has always been acting for the stage. So I wanted to go from making you laugh in a 30-minute video to you enjoying watching the same way we watch all these international films, being able to relate as a Caribbean person, and not just for Barbadians, but from people across the region that I can partner with other Caribbean actors. So you mentioned people like Major Hype, Quiet Perry. You know, there's so many people that I could partner with, bringing this Caribbean culture to the main stage and to the mainstream, that people can see what the culture of the West Indian culture is all about. So I sat with some friends, a team that I have, and I said to them, listen, I want to take Bev to the next level. I have people like Janine White, you know, Janine is now playing Eudora and Keisha Pope. Janine is also scripting and writing along with myself the scenes and the episode for Bev's sitcom. So I'm looking forward to that. She just shared with me the first episode and the second episode that we can get into filming shortly. And you know, I got an amazing team, Alana and my manager Corey, who are out there doing a phenomenal job getting this off the ground and spreading that, you know, bringing back that culture. Because, you know, I tend, you travel and you hear people from all across the world with their distinctive accents. I want this to be one of the accents that stands out across the world. When I hear Beja, I know, yes, them is the people I hear all the time. I love them people, Beja.
Yeah, and I keep saying that too. We've seen that rise with Nigerian films. I mean, they're a whole set on Netflix. Why can't we have Bev the sitcom and people understand it? Even if we gotta do the little caption, the titles, they'll get it. You know, why can't we see ourselves doing that?
That's the whole idea for me. You know, I love Tyler Perry so much, and I want to work with him and even become maybe a Tyler
Perry. Come on, you have to see it.
So we're gonna look back at this interview and say, Nadia, you remember when we were talking about this? And now look where we are. You know.
It is.
And I'm just bridging the gaps with creatives and be able to create a platform that each and every creative with a passion just like myself and just like you can be able to sit at the table and win together.
Yeah. We have the talent right here. Not, of course, only in Barbados, but in Caribbean. We have the talent, we have the actors, we have the writers. So it's time for us to show ourselves on the big stage now. We've seen the impacts of tourism. So now it's time to push the creative industries. So when can we see the first episode of Bev the Sitcom?
So we're definitely going to be releasing some episodes for you, or some little snippets of it before the holiday season. So we're working on that now. We are in production phase, and we're going to be doing a little updates and adding some more characters. We have some new characters. You're going to be able to see Bev's Chosso. You would have heard about Bev and Chosso, so you'll be able to meet Bev's Chosso. You're going to be able to meet other characters in the neighborhood and people who would be relatives of Bev, you'll be able to see. So we've opened that gap for people to start casting to become a part of the Bev sitcom.
Yeah. And I told him that I am going to come and audition, okay? I don't know who I'll be, but I want to be in this show. We are so excited. All right, another question, just moving over a bit from Bev. Also, well, no, not even moving away from Bev. Bev also talks about getting vaccinated. You say get vaxxed. That's a very important part of Bev as well, and of course you as an influencer. Talk a bit about the importance now you think in terms of trying to get people to even ask about the questions of being vaccinated. Where do you stand there?
Well, I think everybody already knows where I stand, but when I say vax, I'm ready to shake up my good body.
Well, let's say it again. Vax and ready to...
I'm ready to shake up my good body.
A little party, we ready. My people, y'all not ready to party?
Yes.
So talk a bit more about that.
For me, I'm honored to be representing the United Nations and the USAID. What a privilege it is to be a Barbadian representative and working along these prestigious organizations to help spread awareness on the immunization project, vaccination, and all that good stuff. And for me, I know that it's a touchy topic for a lot of people, but we can also see the way that the world is going. And if I can use my influence to help somebody else understand the benefits of being vaccinated, I'm 100% on board for that. I'm not here to force or to persuade anybody to do anything they don't want to do, but I'm simply here to educate them on the facts that are happening and to give people that boost of confidence or that little nudge of that, that I did it too, and it's been going pretty good, and I can see my benefits, and we can see where the world is going. The death rate is going up, and there's no real blueprint for what we are going through. But it's something that we need to get past, and we've been provided with a vaccination that can help lower our risk. I say it to people, insurance doesn't stop you from getting an accident, but it gives you courage. It protects you in different ways. There's a phone casing doesn't stop a phone from dropping, but it stops you from the phone from being severely damaged. So that's just the role that a vaccine plays. I'm no scientist, I'm no doctor, I can't tell you the ins and outs and the ingredients, but I can tell you the benefits that I would have received and how it would have affected me, and share that with people amongst in my country and in the world.
And I think it's really about not forcing anyone, as you said, but urging people to get information. Yeah, to get information not just on YouTube or just on social media, but get the information. Speak to your doctor. Speak to the doctors that are on site at the vaccination centers. Yeah. All right, just one more question for you. Now, there's Bev the sitcom. You're an influencer. There's so much happening, for you right now. Where do you see yourself going? What does the future look for you?
First thing, I see myself, most importantly, being very happy and grounded spiritually, because I'm big on my faith, and I believe that God is at the forefront of everything that I do, and I let Him ordain my steps. And when it comes to my brand, I see Bev being an international brand. I see Bev partnering with people such as Tyler Perry and all these big people. I see Barbados going up on stage to receive Emmys and Oscars, or maybe creating our own space that we can receive these major awards. People like Going On Awards, I see the brand creating spaces for other creatives. One of my biggest dreams is to open a big studio that we can be the hub in the Caribbean for creatives, where we can have our producers like Rahmat and all these great talents and actors and writers and dancers and singers can come into this space and benefit from such. So I hope, fingers crossed, and I'm speaking it to being that we would have a big open studio where we can do all our great stuff and partner with people throughout the region and internationally to share the talent that we have right here homegrown in Barbados, and just being successful and contented and blessed. That's where I see brand and where I see myself in years to come.
Yeah, Akhnaten, I do see that. I mean, as we were talking about the creatives, we have dancers like Nandi, we have actors like you, we have producers, we have it. And this is not only in the entire Caribbean. So it's time now for us to push. So and it has been such a pleasure seeing your growth as well. I mean, I look forward to Bev. Like I'm like, wait, where the next story, you know, where the next comedy is, you know? And I think a lot of us in Barbados look forward to you as well. So we want to say thank you, and all the others in the Caribbean, please go follow him, go follow Bev. So where can they find you?
First, I want to say thank you to everybody who has been on this journey with me. It would not have been possible without you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for checking in and staying wrapped up with Bev. If you want to follow me, you can definitely check me out at Akhnaten Burrowes on Instagram. You can check me out on Twitter at Akhnaten Burrowes as well. So yeah, and that's where I am. And you can check me on TikTok as well on the same Akhnaten Burrowes.
Bev, thank you for being on We Tap In interview segment. And don't forget, you can also find us on Spotify. Join us next time as We Tap In.